So hi guys, I hope you're all really well. I came up here to film something entirely different, but I just thought while I'm here, I don't have any makeup on, let me put my makeup on and film for you with some of my all-time favourite Bobbi Brown products. So the products that throughout my 12 years with the brand have been my much loved go-to, make me feel better about myself, everyday, fabulous products. First of all, just an enriched face base. Love this stuff, not least as a day cream, but also of course as a makeup primer. It's not too sticky, which I absolutely love, but more than anything, it's not one of those silicone-based, really dry primers. So many people are like, oh, I really need a primer to make my makeup sit well. But actually, the truth is, it's a combination of having prepared your skin, hydrated your skin, and choosing the right foundation formula that suits your skin, and then of course setting the makeup that's going to keep your makeup on, not some kind of magic primer as it were. Bit of hydrating eye cream. I've used this eye cream, gosh, since I started working for the brand all those years ago, and I'm still amazed by the number of women who don't use an eye cream, but just a little. I use less than a grain of rice, and the skin under your eye feels so supple and soft, but more than anything, it's ready then to receive any makeup you put on top. I love my Correctors. This is light to medium bisque. As you can see, it's well loved, it's got a little hole there. But I love Corrector for making me look and feel that little bit brighter. I don't always use a brush. As you can see, I'm just using my ring finger and just setting that in the inner corner of my eye where I suffer with a little bit of darkness. I love the way the pinky colour of the Corrector just brightens my under eye. And actually, before I do concealer, I'm going to use, of course, my skin foundation stick. Now, I still come across women who are like, oh, I'm not sure about skin foundation stick, is it going to be too dry? But goodness, this stick has the most delicious slip to it. I also love this foundation for my brides because there's no SPF, and we all know that sometimes SPF can cause a little bit of havoc with photography. I don't know if you've ever seen kind of the ghostly white face look. That's often where an SPF has been present in said foundation. And I'm using a full coverage face brush just to help stipple the skin foundation stick into my skin. And this brush is relatively new to the collection of brushes, but it very swiftly became a favourite because it's just so quick and easy to use. And there's something about this kind of stippling motion that helps to keep foundation looking, you know, that little bit more skin-like and less makeup-y. I'm now going to use kind of a newer favourite again. So this is the Instant Full Cover Concealer, but since we launched it, oh my goodness, I cannot be without it. I often actually don't use Corrector with it at all. I just go straight under my eye, but I couldn't do a video about my all-time favourite Bobbi Brown products without using Corrector. So now my skin foundation stick is on. You all know my favourite trick of just warming the foundation into the skin with my hands, and this helps to take off any excess product and melt the foundation into the skin so it looks as skin-like as possible. I know I've said that already, but I'm just reiterating the points. For setting powder, I've actually included, apologies for the old packaging, the new packaging, which is gorgeous, is in my kit, not my personal use. This is the Bobbi Brown Retouching Powder. This is the yellow one. I have to include this in an all-time favourites video because I love it, as you'll see now, for setting my own makeup. It really does lock foundation in place and mattify makeup better than any other makeup powder I have used. I'm going to use the same powder with an eye blender brush under my eyes just to set my concealer in place. And this is a very beloved brush of mine. It's one of my oldest but most faithful brushes. And of course I'd have to finish my base with my medium bronzer. It's not a secret that I'm a huge fan of my bronzer, but just you watch as I add warmth to my face. I feel like my face comes alive, and I genuinely don't feel like that until I have my bronzer on. For blush, it has to be the one and only pale pink blusher. I have always loved the Bobbi Brown Cosmetics signature flushed pink cheek look. I think it's so pretty. And this blusher never fails to make me feel pulled together and that little bit fresher. So yes, of all the Bobbi Brown blushes, this is my favourite. On me, on my clients, my brides, you name it, pale pink is my number one. I forgot how good the blusher brush is. I never use it on myself. Okay, so when it comes to brows, you guys know I love nothing more than a natural approach, but more than anything, actually something that's quick and easy. So my all-time favourite brow product has to be the brow kits. Now this is the medium brow kit. So it's got grey and, was it birch? Mink, that's it. Grey and mink. But you'll see, I've just brushed up my brows there. With very little work at all, I can very quickly create a really nicely groomed brow look that, trust me, looks so natural. So pulled together and defined, but the number one word being natural. I'm not a fan of the overly done, overly manicured, heavy brow. Never have been, never will be. Whereas with my trusty brow kit, in a matter of seconds, you can create a really good, groomed, natural looking brow. Now when it comes to eyes, it's no surprise that I love the long wear cream shadow sticks. But sadly, my very favourite long wear cream shadow stick has been discontinued. So I will show you my now second favourite long wear cream shadow stick, and that is Bark. Now I love this trusty stick because in moments, let me get rid of my concealer, in moments, look, you can just take your Bark along your lash line in a very kind of rough line. You've seen me do this thousands of times before, but then just blend with your finger and you have the quickest, most convenient, really pretty, long wearing daytime smoky eye, and it takes all of, what, 15 seconds? So a powder colour I have always loved for buffing out my smoky eyes is this one here, and it's taupe. And of course in the early days of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics there was a lot of chat about the colourings, how the founder Bobbi Brown liked the colours bone, taupe and mahogany. Well, I tell you what, all these years later, taupe is still one of my favourite colours. It's a brilliant bridging shadow between lid colour and brow bone that's just got a hint of that lovely yellowy brown undertone that for me with a kind of bluey green eye is super, super flattering. Love it. And actually I'm going to use the taupe along my lower lash line as liner, as I love lower lash line liner, but sometimes with the darker colours it can look a bit heavy. So I much rather use a softer colour like taupe, that's nice, to create a soft lower liner that looks kind of smudgy, but most importantly isn't too harsh. One of the products that people often start their journey at Bobbi Brown with is this bad boy, gel liner. So of course I've got to include that in an all-time favourite Bobbi Brown Cosmetics products video. I've told the story before when Bobbi Brown, the founder of the company, used her waterproof mascara and a Q-tip to do eyeliner. Well, that very instant was where she had the idea for a gel liner. And as you can see, the joy is just with, I'm actually using an eyeliner brush today, you can just in moments get that liner all along the lash line, and then I love to use a smoky liner brush just to soften the edges, but I know for loads of women out there, gel liner has revolutionised their attitude towards eyeliner. For those who've struggled with pencils over the years, the gel being so soft and malleable is such a dream, but then add to that the fact that it's long wearing and it is a win-win situation. But as I'm doing now, this kind of gently buffed edge is by far my favourite way of wearing and applying the gel liner. Do I look like me? I'm embarrassed to say that my version of the smoky eye mascara, look at that. What a grubby mascara tube. It's because I flaff in the morning and I'm rushing, and so often I miss when I try to put the wand back in. But I love this mascara. You'll see why as I apply it. It gives the most beautiful, fluffy, full lashes without going clumpy, without going brittle, and really with minimal effort. So I'll show you just what those few coats have done, but I love nothing more than spending a bit of time, oh hey baby fuzz hair, a bit of time really working on it to create, you know, really thick, luscious lashes. And so often, kind of one of my #1 DMs on Instagram is, oh my goodness, your lashes look amazing, what mascara are you wearing? And always smoky eye mascara. And my lower lashes. And that really is my favourite kind of eye. The lips is a much more tricky one. I often wear just the Bobbi Brown lip balm day in, day out, and again, people will either, my friends will say to me, or people DM me on Instagram and be like, oh, what's your lip colour? It's lovely. And it's just the lip balm. But a lip pencil that I love, any guesses? It's Cocoa. I absolutely love Cocoa lip pencil. It's a nude that's not too orange and it's not too dark brown, but it's also not pink. So it's fabulous for lining. So I have always loved, stop talking Han, lining my lips with Cocoa. I often fill in my entire lip with Cocoa too actually. Oh, I just love it. So I could leave it like that, and I often do, but I'm gonna give a swipe of my Sandwash Pink. I love this on people I work with, I love it on myself. It's such a wearable, slightly lilac-y, pinky, everyday colour, but it's got to be in my favourite ever video because I just adore it. Saying that, I'm going to take on top a bit of my blush Nourishing Lip colour. Again, I love how this feels, so it's going to give my lips a really pretty sheen, but again, it's a lipstick that when I wear it, people say to me, they'll stop me in the street and say, oh, I love your lipstick, what is it? So that's Blush Nourishing Lip colour. I love it. I love everything on this table in front of me so much. I don't particularly want to wear anything sparkly on my eyes. I'm quite happy with my eye look, but I couldn't finish this video without doing two little top-ups, and that would be a little bit of Silver Moon Sparkle Shadow. I was working for Bobbi Brown Cosmetics in Phoenix on Bond Street when these were first launched, and I cannot tell you how excited we were for these gorgeous squares. Well, I'm going to say squares, they were actually round when we first launched, but these gorgeous sparkle pigments. Finally, grown-up glitter that flattered the skin, didn't highlight any fine lines or creases, in really pretty wearable shades. So I've just added, I don't even know if you can see that on the camera. Can you see that? A little bit of sparkle. So they go in my all-time favourites. I use those, it's one of the easiest things I love to do on my brides to take them through to the evening is add a sparkle shadow. And of course, it's got to be, look at the state of this bronze shimmer brick. Yes, an all-time favourite. I can't live without it. The best, most original face illuminator. And I'm using the bronze because it's the very first Bobbi Brown Cosmetics product I bought, and I can't even see in that mirror, I still love today the finish it gives my skin just as much as I loved it the very first time I bought it. And when I did buy it, I remember I had such butterflies because I was a student, I was desperate to crack it into makeup, and it felt like such a vast outgoing financially to buy this beautiful Bobbi Brown Cosmetics shimmer brick. I came down to London especially with my friend Holly to buy it, and because of that this holds a very special place in my heart. It's also amazing for eyeshadow on your chest, down your legs on holiday. It's just a wonder product. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It feels good to have a bit of makeup on, I tell ya. Don't hesitate to leave any comments or questions below. I'll get back to you, and I'll see you all really soon. Loads of love.